Revenge films.
My name is John. I've been married to my wife, Kayla, for 3 years now. Including the time we lived together before getting married, we've been together for over 4 years. We don't have any kids yet. After living under the same roof for that long, you start to pick up on things, so it didn't take me long to realize she was cheating. I waited for the right moment and checked her phone. Sure enough, I found messages between her and another man. I saved them as evidence. That's how I confirmed she was having an affair. A few days later, I caught them coming out of a hotel. I took pictures with my phone, started recording audio, and walked up to them. "What are you two doing here?" I asked. Both of them were clearly rattled. They kept saying it's not what it looks like over and over again, so I called them out. "I saw you two come out of that hotel with my own eyes, and I already know this wasn't the first time." Then I looked straight at the guy. "You're her boss, right? So you lied about being out for work and instead used that time to sleep with your subordinate in a hotel? You know how serious that is, right? And you're married too, aren't you?" He paused for a moment, then shamelessly replied, "It was a moment of weakness, just one time. Besides, legally speaking, one night together doesn't usually count as a full-blown affair. You wouldn't get much in damages. It's hard to prove serious emotional harm if it only happened once." Then he lowered his head and said, "Anyway, I'm sorry. Please don't report this to the company. You wouldn't want your wife to lose her job either, would you?" That really pissed me off. You think you can get away with a half-assed apology like that? You and your wife, my place, tomorrow, Sunday. I already knew he and my wife had the day off since they work at the same company. When Kayla got home that night, she made a big show of apologizing, got down on her knees and everything.
He's actually a really good boss. I didn't even realize what was happening until we ended up at the hotel. It was just that one time. He told me the same thing. It was a moment of weakness.
Clearly she had rehearsed all this in case she got caught.
But I swear, I only love you. You're the only one I care about.
I pretended to accept it for the time being. Then she asked,
"How did you even find out?"
"I saw the messages on your phone," I replied. Then she suddenly snapped.
"That's horrible. I can't believe you'd go through my phone like that. That's a huge invasion of privacy."
I fired back. "Wow, you've got some nerve calling me horrible and invasive after you cheated on me." She had nothing to say to that. She just looked down in silence, but even as she apologized, I could see it in her face. She wasn't sorry. She looked frustrated, almost annoyed. She had only pretended to apologize to figure out how she got caught. We didn't talk much after that. The next day, just like I told him to, the other man, her affair partner, showed up at our house. But he didn't bring his wife, even though I specifically told him to. I let him in anyway, and we sat across from each other at the table. To my surprise, my wife sat next to him. That pissed me off. She said she loved me just yesterday. What the hell was she thinking? I held my anger in and started recording the conversation on my phone. I turned to her. "Why are you sitting next to him? Didn't you just tell me yesterday that I'm the one you love?" She got up and moved seats, but not next to me. No, she sat between the two of us. So she really doesn't want to sit next to me, huh? Message received. The guy sat there, legs crossed, acting like he owned the place. My wife looked sulky and defiant, showing no signs of regret. I focused on the guy first. Let me ask you something. Why didn't you bring your wife like I asked? This is a conversation about your affair. She needed to be here. That's your first misunderstanding, he said calmly. What the hell are you talking about? The whole affair thing, that's the misunderstanding. He smiled smugly. You keep saying we had an affair, but you don't actually have any proof, do you? Are you kidding me? I saw the messages between you two on her phone. Oh, those messages? That was all just a joke. You really believed that? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Yeah, we threw in the word hotel and some other stuff, but come on, it was just fooling around. Sorry you got the wrong idea. My wife chimed in, mocking me.
Seriously, how could you take that stuff seriously? Going off about cheating and all that? Don't you feel embarrassed?
So, yeah, since there's no physical relationship, there's no grounds for damages or anything. No need for some big talk or legal action. They both started laughing like it was all a big joke. Don't screw with me. I saw you both coming out of a hotel yesterday. That's odd. I don't recall going to any hotel yesterday.
Me neither.
My wife added with a smirk. What the hell? It was clear they had planned this overnight, coordinated their stories to deny everything. Well, I'm sorry for the misunderstanding, the guy said casually before walking out. Once he was gone, I turned to my wife. What the hell is going on?
Let's just drop this. We're only going in circles now. Ugh, how many times are you going to go on about this? You're completely overreacting. You misunderstood everything. You're so annoying. I'm going back to my parents' house.
She stormed out. Looks like she had packed her things the night before. It didn't take her long to leave. Clearly, this was all part of her plan. If this is how she wants to play it, then fine. I'll go all out. We've been together for years. I know her. I can tell she and that guy have no intention of ending things. That means I still have chances to strike. They're denying the affair just so they can avoid paying damages. I'm not letting them off that easy. I deliberately chose not to show them the evidence, photos, and audio recordings. If I revealed my hand too soon, they'd just come up with countermeasures. I'm gonna pick the most effective method of revenge. A few days later, just as I had finalized my plan, my wife happened to call. She said she wanted to talk, so we met at a cafe. She started complaining about me, criticizing my appearance, nitpicking minor things in our daily life, covering all kinds of topics. It felt like she was trying to get me to say, I want a divorce. I could tell she was already thinking about building a life with the other man. What is this charade? If you want a divorce, just say so.
You're the one jumping to conclusions.
So you're not planning to be honest about anything?
I have been honest from the beginning. I never went to a hotel with him, and those messages on my phone were all jokes. You're the one who misunderstood everything.
I stayed silent. My lack of response seemed to make her feel triumphant, and she stood up as if she had won. It was clear now that she had only come to rub it in, probably because she was still angry about what I had said before. We left the cafe. As she was walking away, I asked one last thing. Just tell me one thing.
What?
Do you feel any remorse for cheating, or do you not? With her back still turned to me, she said nothing. Well, which is it?
It's all your fault. You made me feel lonely. You couldn't satisfy me. That's why I did what I did.
I see. So it's all my fault. I nodded solemnly.
Looks like you finally understand. I cheated because you drove me to it.
And with that, we parted ways. It was more fruitful than I'd hoped. I got her to admit to the affair, and I had recorded everything. She basically blew up her own case. I then went to the guy's workplace. When I showed him the audio and photo evidence, he was visibly shaken. I asked him, "Do you actually plan to be with my wife?" "You two should work things out between yourselves. I've got my own family to take care of." I asked several times to make sure, but his answer never changed. I left after that. Of course, that entire conversation was also recorded. The next day, I met my wife again at the same cafe. I played her the recording of the other man, and she was visibly shaken. I mean, I'm a guy. I can probably get remarried pretty easily. But you're a woman. Things are going to be a lot tougher for you from here on out. I said it with a tone of fake sympathy. Then I went on to stoke her fears and frustrations, pushing all the right buttons. Not long after, she stormed over to the other man's house. She involved his wife, too, and apparently it turned into a huge fight. Since my wife and the guy worked at the same company, word spread fast, and it became a full-blown scandal at work as well. I heard she was screaming things like,
You said you were going to leave your wife!
A few days later, I got a call from the guy. He sounded like he was on the verge of a breakdown. "What the hell is going on?" he shouted. So I just told him, "You brought this on yourself." I divorced my wife. The guy, his life was completely wrecked, both personally and professionally. He ended up quitting his job and getting divorced. My ex-wife also left the company and was dumped by him. Both of them were hit with $20,000 compensation claims, mine and the guy's ex-wife's. In the end, the two who had been so careful to cover for each other ended up turning on one another. Watching them self-destruct like that was deeply satisfying.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.